Good day, everyone. We are the developers of the program Labada Express Laundry Services. Before we begin, allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Alexa Kate Denuevo, and my co-developers are Alyana Antopina and Lucille Mae Suaybaguio. This was inspired with the Labada Express because we noticed that many laundry businesses in Tagbilaran still compute transactions manually, and we wanted to create a simple program that makes their work faster, easier, and more organized. Our program is designed to compute the total laundry payment based on the type of service chosen and the number of kilos entered by the customer, where one load is equal to 8 kilograms. This program uses selection, if-else switch, looping, the do-while, and input validation. Today, we will present in the following order. First, the description of the program, followed by flowchart, source code, and lastly, the sample runs. We will now start with the description of our program. So the Labada Express Laundry Services program is a menu-driven program written in C that helps calculate the laundry cost automatically. It offers four options: the wash only, 70 pesos per load; dry only, 90 pesos per load; wash and dry, 145 pesos per load; and option 4, the exit. The user is asked to choose a service and enter the number of kilos. The program then converts the kilos into loads by dividing it by 8 kg per load. If there's a remainder, the program automatically adds one more load. After calculating the number of the loads, the program multiplies it by the price per load to get the total cost. The program will continue running because of the do-while loop and will only stop when the user selects an option, which is option 4, the exit, where the name of the developers are displayed. So this program is helpful for laundry businesses because it makes the computation faster and more accurate. That is the description of our program. I will now pass the presentation to Alyana for flowchart explanation.
So, the flowchart begins with the start symbol. First, the program displays the laundry service menu. Then, the user enters their chosen option. If the option is invalid, the program displays an error message and goes back to the menu. If the option is 4, the program prints the developer's names and ends. If the option is 1, 2, or 3, the user is asked to enter the number of kilos. If the kilos entered is less than or equal to 0, the program shows an error and returns to the menu. Next, the program calculates the number of loads by dividing the kilos by 8. If there is a remainder, an additional load is added. Then, the program selects the price per load depending on the service chosen. As previously said, wash only equals to 70, dry only equals to 90, and wash plus dry equals to 145. The program then calculates the total amount by multiplying the number of loads by the price per load. After displaying the transaction summary, the flow returns to the menu again, which shows the loop process of the program. This continues until the user chooses to exit. That explains the flowchart. I will now hand over the presentation to Lucille for source code explanation.
The program starts with the hashtag include stdio.h library to enable input and output functions. Inside the main function, variables such as option, kilos, loads, price per load, and total cost are declared. These are used to store and process the user's input and the computed values. A do-while loop is used so that the program will continue displaying the menu until the user selects option 4. The program uses an if statement to check if the input option is valid. If it is not between 1 and 4, an error message is displayed. When the user selects option 4, the program prints the names of the developers, Antopina, Suaybaguio, and Denuevo, then exits the loop. The program then asks the user for the number of kilos and validates if it is greater than 0. The number of loads is calculated by dividing the kilos by 8. If there is a remainder, another load is added. A switch statement is used to determine the correct price depending on the chosen service. After that, the total cost is calculated and shown in the transaction summary. This part of the code ensures that proper selection and computation are performed. So to prove that the program works correctly, different sample runs were tested. In the first sample run, the user chose wash only and entered 8 kilos. The program calculated it as one load and the total was 70 pesos, which is correct. In the second sample run, the user chose wash and dry and entered 10 kilos. Since this is more than 8 kilos, the program automatically assigned 2 loads, resulting in a total of 290 pesos. This shows that the program correctly adds extra loads. In another test, the user entered an invalid option such as 7. The program displayed an error message and returned to the menu. This confirms that the validation process is working. In the final test, the user selected option 4, which is exit. The program displayed the names of the developers and ended properly. These sample runs prove that the program meets all the conditions in the selection and looping logic.
So in conclusion, the Labada Express Laundry Services program successfully demonstrates the proper use of selection structures, looping structures, and input validation in C programming. It accurately converts kilos into loads and calculates the total cost based on the selected service and provides a clear summary of that transaction. The program is simple, user-friendly, and practical for real-life laundry business operations. Through different test cases, it was proven that the program meets all the required conditions and works correctly. This program enhanced our understanding of programming logic, decision-making structures, and problem-solving skills in designing a functional system. Thank you for listening.